All right. Start with the session recap. In the last session, in return for an elixir of healing to cure Ham of his disease, the party agreed to take vengeance on a group of goblins to the west of Crossway for the cold alchemist named Muriel. After buying some supplies, the group headed west, encountering a pair of hippogriffs and a mysterious mage named Tavian. He was under attack by an unsettling creature known as a Shadow Mastiff. The group continued, encountering a goblin scout that had lost control of his wargs. After a dark, grim, bloody battle, Liz located a blind warg puppy, which Gus took to care for as his own. As the day was coming to a close, the party found an overgrown area where the goblins they were hunting were looting a caravan. Ham's keen eyes helped avoid an ambush, and the party took the goblins on. The battle was intense. Ham was knocked unconscious by the end of it. But with the help of Gideon and Gust, he was revived and brought back to consciousness. The group now prepares to set up camp and hopefully make it safely through the night. So if you guys are ready.
Yeah, I'm ready.
As Liz walks into the camp, he wants to look around to see if he can find anything.
Just a quick question, just because we did get a level up. How would we RP if we wanted to use our like level up stuff? Just because it seems like we just did a big bloody battle, but we still got stronger for it.
What's the question?
How do we segue in our like we just had a big bloody battle. I was saying last session I was tapped out, but I got a little bit back after, because of the level up. Can we say we just got like an adrenaline rush for RP sake?
Sure. How do you feel after the battle? What from the battle would make you feel stronger, Gust?
The fact that I was able to help get Ham back up and manage to make sure the warg pup in my backpack did not get injured. So I'm feeling a big high right now. The fact that I took the hit and the puppy didn't.
Yeah, I feel over the last session, the adventure west of Crossway, you guys overcame many trials. Ham fought his greatest fear, two large flying creatures. Liz encountered a dark memory from his past. Gust finding new leadership, now with a blind warg pup under his care. And Gideon finally having an opportunity to flex his muscles as an herbalist with the help of Gust bringing him back. You guys faced many hardships on your first true journey outside of town. And I'm sure now everyone feels much stronger, more resolved, more confident in themselves to face any challenges going forward.
Liz approaches, after having scouted a bit the camp and confirmed there's no more danger. Liz approaches his team members, especially Ham. He looks quite wounded, so I ask, how are you doing?
Well, I've seen better days, that's for sure.
And Gus looks around and gives a giggle and comes and pats Ham on the back and says,
pleased.
I have a little bit of
You
juice
think
left
you
in
can
me.
stop me, you virgin
I'm gonna
troglodyte?
cast my last level 1 spell of Cure Wounds on the Ham. I'll be like, I'm tapped out though. That's what I got for you. That's the last bit of high I got from this long, exhausting day.
I got a question. When we level up, those hit points we get, Do we add those to our current hit points or no?
Yeah.
Okay. Not right.
Hey, that's like the level up, you know, in Diablo 2 when you get the HP
Oh
boost.
yeah, feels good.
Feels good, man.
So are we making this our camp
Alright,
for the
I'm
night?
going to chop off these goblins' heads.
Damn.
Yeah. It's and while you're doing that, Ham, to give you guys an idea of the area you're in, you've followed the path. The path has slowly become less and less. Like, it's become harder to follow. Like, the deeper you get from out of town, the less traveled the road is. But here you've come across sort of little overgrown patch here with a few trees and some shrubbery that's begun to grow. And looking around the camp, you see what remains of an old wagon and a couple bodies of what appear to be merchants strewn along the ground here with ransacked crates and chests and barrels. It seems whatever cargo they had been rifled through quite a bit by these goblins.
Is there anything valuable still in those crates that we could find or salvage?
Yeah, go ahead and do an investigation check. All right, so at Liz, as you're looking around at the crates, you find 123 gold, like scattered around,
Okay.
and various types of, like, there's old chalices in one of the crates. There's two. They look like they're made of copper, with like silver engraving around like the base of it.
Okay.
You find a couple squares of, they look like silk handkerchiefs. Two of them. And in one of the chests to the side here, you find a pair of dice made of bone.
Okay. I make sure I gather all of it and I walk back to my party. The first thing I show is the gold, the 126 pieces, if I'm not mistaken. And
There's 123, I think.
123. And since it's 4 of us, I decide to split it equally, 25 each, and give the rest to Gust. And I tell him, "For your little friend, he's gonna need some care."
I look up and I smile and I say, you sure about that? And looking around, making sure everyone else in the party's cool with that.
That's fun.
Fine with me.
Alright, so you said 25 each plus I get the extra 23, right?
Yep.
So 47.
Updating my gold. I'm gonna keep the dice, and I look at them. Do they look like they're some sort of like any sort of special thing about them? The dice.
There's nothing that you notice that seem out of the ordinary. It's just it looks like they're made of bone. You can't tell what kind, and it's just a simple pair of dice.
Are they beautiful? From an artistry point of view, you know.
Yeah, it appears to be like some kind of artisan made them.
They
They are a little worn though, like
Okay.
they've been used.
Okay.
We've searched everything in this area, like these barrels and stuff.
You could try to look around for more.
I would like to reclaim the arrows that I used out of the goblins. I used 2 last
Okay.
session.
Yeah, I did this. I did the same last session too. I lost. I'm pretty sure I lost 2 arrows.
I want to search some of these other things.
Hey, we found the
or
gold.
Basically double check to
Not
make sure
bad.
we haven't missed anything.
While they're searching Vision, I would like to look around and see how I can use this to my advantage to set up safety nets, since I am looking to want to do a long rest.
Okay. All right, Ham, go ahead and roll an investigation check.
And my investigational check will also like I'll look to see if there's anything from this camp that we can use to like set up shelter. You know,
Okay.
whether it's like breaking sticks and or using these sacks for like
That's a good idea.
the cloth or whatever. So you said investigation.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Daily RNG
Alright.
always works, boys.
2 20s in a row.
So, Ham, you start to rifle around through the bags and chests just to make sure there's nothing that Liz might have forgotten. Not really that you doubt his ability, but more, you want to make sure that your party has everything they could use going further. Kind of, being the rock of your party's group, or maybe you see yourself that way or not. But in the bag, you find 4 potions of healing.
Ooh.
And other than that, you don't really see too much. As far as materials to use for a camp, there's some dead wood beneath the trees, but other than that, there's not much. Maybe you could possibly use some of the bushes around to, if you like, relocate some of the different leaves. You could maybe fashion up some walls, and maybe Gust could help you with that. Gust, what'd you say you're doing?
I wanted since we saw how the goblins use this area to their advantage, I want to see how we could further use this tactically to defend ourselves for a long rest, like traps, good setup, choke points. I want to learn the area tactically.
Well, I mean, you can see the area. The sides are pretty well overgrown, and the path kind of leads into it.
Yeah, I'll convey the information that I saw to Gust about how we can kind of make shelter
Yeah,
in
I
these
got it.
trees.
I was just wondering, cause there's gaps and stuff. Is there is this a back path that we could use to hook around and flank and do stealth hides things, or is it just this is the one path here?
I mean, if you wanted to do that, you could. There's a little opening through there.
Okay, I just want to make sure that was in fact an opening and not just layering because of the card and such. Okay, cool. I look at Ham and say, yeah, we should really start looking to fortify within the bushes here so we can have the fire in the middle. So if anything does ambush us, we can go back. We can send people around the back, and we can use people to defend the points here. And we could have a couple of good trap opportunities if anyone can lay those.
That sounds good. I proceed and I start helping Ham and Gust into clearing out the area, preparing the fire, and so on.
Well,
Okay.
while they're doing this, I'm just gonna pop a squat on a bench. I want to
So, all right. So
start
Gust,
recovering.
Gust and Liz, if you'd like to, both of you could, or one of you could help the other make a survival check to try to camouflage your area a bit.
I'm gonna be helping Gust, if that's okay.
Okay.
Okay, that's fine with me.
Yeah, go ahead and make a survival
So
check.
I get advantage on that?
Yes.
Not shabby.
All right. So Gust, you're able to maneuver around some of the boxes in the wagon in an inconspicuous way. You didn't want to put the boxes out front here where it's like, hey, there's loot here, come get it. But you're able to position it around where it might help dampen the light of a campfire, and but some of the dead wood and just random leaves from these bushes you're able to stack up into a sort of pile, lean them against the trees and the shrubbery, and you think you have a pretty good spot where somebody from the outside might have trouble seeing movement from within the clearing.
Awesome.
How long did that take?
It was maybe 30 minutes or so.
So we could roughly say it's around 6 p.m. at this time?
What time did we? It was about after the battle yesterday. It was about 7, so it's probably about 8 p.m. It's getting pretty dark.
Okay.
Alright, I looked at Arksy, I'm like, can you get the campfire started? And I'm like, Ham, do you mind just moving these bodies, like around here, just so that way we can make difficult terrain for anybody who comes in our direction?
I kind of sigh and get up and say, "Sure, I can move these."
Yeah, I'll take
So I
some of
move-
these just
Move all the
broke.
bodies.
I'll take some of the broken crates and just kind of pile them up in the center and light them with my druid craft.
I pull
Range the bodies. Or is that?
I mean, that works, right? They're gonna have to go through it or around it, and it's gonna be dark, so there's a chance they'll trip. I think that's fine.
Okay. And then, meanwhile, Genian, rummaging through the different debris around the campsite's able to put together a fire and put together like some starter wood and ignite a fire. Genian, what does that look like? Are you using
It's so I light it with my druid craft. It's kind of a blue sparkling fire. The embers. The embers look almost crystalline in nature.
All right, and the fire ignites and casts like a dim blue light on the trees around you, and the shade of the fire almost blends in with the moonlight, like shining down over the open field. And the fire, after its initial roar into existence, kind of dies down a bit to a low flicker.
I take Hope out of the bag and I start going around the campfire, and I put Hope in my lap with a little bit of food in my lap for Hope, and I pull out my flute, and I want to be like, all right, I need to start resting up now, boys, and I start playing my Song of Rest.
Okay.
As the song starts, I make sure I am close to the group, especially close to Gust. I am waiting for his little song to finish, but I definitely want to have some words with him before we
I'll
go to
pop a
bed.
squat on the bench and listen to the music. Just...
While this song is playing too, if you have any hit dice that you'd like to recover with.
Yeah, I will use
And
a
remember-
hit dice.
I'm using one, and so it adds a 1d6 on top of your hit dice roll.
Okay, so I roll.
Oh, another crit!
Man,
Holy shit!
1d10 and then
What the-
1d6. So I get 11 health back. That's how it works. And I go down one hit dice.
No, you gotta roll a d6 and it'll add to what you rolled.
That's what I rolled a d10
sorry,
and a
yeah.
d6.
Sorry, I missed a d6. Yeah, you get 11, and I also get 11, so I'm full up now.
I was full HP.
I'm not full, but I'm definitely got my color back. I'm doing pretty good.
Not bloodied anymore.
Not bloodied anymore.
Good.
Oh, also, I got those health potions. I was gonna give one to everybody in the party.
I look at him and say, "You keep mine. If I need healing, if we can get a good rest in, I can focus on myself that way. If I'm not near you, you can heal yourself more consistently."
Well, I was thinking if everybody had one, then if somebody is like incapacitated or something, then someone else could use theirs. It's more of to help each other out than to help yourself out.
Definitely. Oops, sorry.
No, I was going to say I definitely acknowledge that, but I say I'll never be wasting my heals again like I did on the wards earlier. I promise
Hello,
you.
Gio, by the way. Hello,
I'll
Gio.
make sure I have a heal set aside for you. That's a promise, but please keep the potion.
Okay, so then I give one to Genin and one to Liz, and I'll keep two for myself.
I definitely keep the potion for myself, and
you said. Huh? Go ahead.
I say thank you, Ham.
You said it was a potion of healing.
Yeah, potion of healing.
Okay.
And as my song ends, I look down at this blinded pup and I'm like, I'm thinking here, and I'm just like, I gotta try it, and so I try to cure its blindness with lesser restoration.
Like,
So with the adrenaline rush coming to age and like starting to become more of a leadership role, Gus pulls out his flute and starts playing a soft melody of a tune. You see little music notes come out and go around the small warg pup, and they do a little pop, and you just see a burst of like mist go around the pup.
all right, and you watch as the white clouds over the eyes of Hope slowly dissipate. And for the first time in his life, he is now witnessing the world through his eyes, not just his nose and ears. And the Hope starts to panic a bit and starts to writhe around in your arms, overwhelmed and terrified, seeing the world the first time.
I definitely I give it a little food and I pet its back and I try my hardest to calm it and say, shh, it's okay, I'm here, I'll help you. Try to like give it a like protective mother parent kind of feel.
And you can feel his heartbeat racing. Like every you can feel like every pound of his heart like through his like tiny little body. And he starts to relax a little bit, still not completely reassured, but in a better state than he was.
Me seeing the shock, I'm like, fuck it, we're resting. I want to cast Calm Emotion onto him too. Just really let him have a chance to relax.
That says humanoid in there.
Oh, does it? Each humanoid. Ah, fuck. You're right. My bad. I just want to do more for this little guy. Can I like try to do an animal handling and like try to calm him further with like some food and like try to like bring out his like normal animal instincts?
I'll help with that.
So roll with advantage.
Not terrible.
All right. With the help of Gideon, who seems to be pretty well in tune with nature, Gust attempts to calm Hope. And it's quite an undertaking, considering within the last 24 hours this pup has heard his entire family be murdered. As you all know, wargs have a very good sense of hearing, and the Hope heard every single blow made against his own kind. And that, combined with just being overwhelmed to have his fifth sense, it's a lot to take in for something so new to the world. But you do feel that after a long day, he seems maybe a little worn out, and the heartbeat begins to slow a bit. His Hope relaxes, and his eyes, looking less terrified, kind of just begins to take in his surroundings, this time much calmer.
Okay, and you just see Gus have a little sigh of relief, and I go look up to Gideon and I say, thank you very much.
Yeah, no problem.
And I kind of just lay there and I just let the pup sit in my lap, look around, keeping that little bit of food next to him from my rations, and with the other part of the rations, I just start munching and just sit there relaxing.
Yeah, I'll eat one of my rations. And since I've relaxed and rested a bit, I'm gonna use a second wind to heal myself the remaining points.
I definitely eat my ration of the day.
Yeah, everyone go
Yeah.
ahead and remove a ration
Yeah, just did.
to account for
Alright,
today's
one of
food.
these barbecued rats.
I already removed the ration when I gave the food.
I'm definitely
to the
not eating barbecue rat today.
You're missing out.
I look around and go, okay, how should we do this watch? Because I know me and Ham are probably the most exhausted.
I definitely raise my voice here a bit. I go, I'll do the watch. You caused too much trouble today. I don't say this in a mean way, but I'm definitely adding a bit more of seriousness to the day. And I look at Gust.
I smile, say, yeah, I caused a lot of trouble, and I just let a big laughter and said, sorry about that, guys. I promise you it won't happen again. But I will say, the bond I have with these creatures is something I cannot describe. It is primal to what I am. So
I understand
do
that.
apologize.
But we are a party now.
I put my hand down and I pet Hope and I go, yes, we very much are a party, and I will do everything to protect you guys.
Good.
I kind of find a nice spot here under some leaves and
Gust. If Hope gets in the way of the party, he will have to go. You understand that?
I pull out my crossbow and say, it won't happen, and he's never leaving my side.
Good. I'll do the watch tonight. I haven't been injured. I've been quiet, away from the fight. I'm pretty fresh. And to be honest, I don't think I'm gonna be able to sleep after meeting that stranger.
Before we go to sleep, I'm gonna cast my Druidcraft spell and make. I mean, you'd have to tell me what it is, but make an image that depicts what the weather's going to be here for the next 24 hours.
Ooh. Holy,
You see clear
satellite.
skies tonight, but you do notice it will rain tomorrow.
Okay.
I take my bedroll and I lay it out underneath the tree over here, and I put Hope next to me, and I just curl up and say, I trust you guys. Thank you for today. And I just kind of doze off slowly with my one arm around Hope, kind of like I'm snuggling it.
Yeah, so this will be 2 shifts of 3 hours with 2 people on each shift.
I'll take the first shift.
I'll take the first shift.
All right, so as everybody starts to wind down for the night, Ham and Gus, the most injured after the first day of travel, Liz and Ginian stick together for the first shift. And you guys have a few hours here to talk. If there's anything Liz and Ginian might discuss after their first night of adventure.
Yeah, I want to ask Ginian, what do you think?
Of what?
And I point with my side. I kind of point at the 2 sleeping guys, the injured dwarf and the cheeky little goblin.
They're all right. I mean, I don't foresee them getting in the way of anything. I don't foresee myself getting in the way of anything, I hope.
Yeah.
But I guess we just kind of gotta work with what we get.
You mentioned earlier that you had to leave your land. Do you ever, like, miss it?
Sure, sometimes. I mean, I grew up there for the first dozen or so years. Well, I guess a little more than a dozen years of my life. And it's fine for the beginning, but then the expectations of the clan starts hitting you, and they just kind of drove me out. So I guess I don't miss the area. I don't miss where I'm from. I miss how it used to be.
Are there more people like you that got exiled?
Not not too many from my clan, really. Most people, or most of the dragonkin there conform to what is expected. I'm just a defect.
Do you feel like that? You seem pretty
I
powerful to
mean,
me.
it's not about the power. It's about how you stand. They want people to be
Pure?
they want their dragonkin to be tough and ruthless and not necessarily bloodthirsty, but willing to be. But I think it's for the wrong reasons.
I see. You just didn't fit in, so you
No.
left.
Not me. Yeah, my time was coming. They kind of made the decision for me, but I probably would have myself anyway.
Can you ever come back?
No, I can't go back. The point of their exiling is it's frowned upon to kill one of your own clan. By exiling, you are being removed from the clan. So if I go back, there's nothing stopping them from killing me.
I offer him my hand to shake it, and I said, I guess we are a clan now.
Seems good to me.
So you make a perception check.
Me?
Yeah, both you, Gideon and Liz.
Oh shit. Okay. I like how we
Alright.
have crazy rolls and
And as you guys you shake hands, and as the conversation winds down a little bit, you both notice something it's very far away, somewhere far to the northeast. A very subtle pulsing in the sky, like a bright white light. It grows quickly and then vanishes.
like a
It's
star.
over the horizon. It's not a star. It's on top of the horizon, like above the mountain range that you can see very far in the distance.
Okay, I might be powerful, but that's not me.
I laugh
Not this time.
and I say, it's beautiful.
I also don't know what it is.
How far away it was? It was like really far away, right, Vision? Like,
It's very far away. Like you guys, there's a mountain range that you can see in the
Okay.
distance, and it looks like it's beyond that.
Is
Okay.
it something we've seen like before in like all the years of being alive?
You wouldn't have seen it.
I don't know what it was, but it was beautiful.
Yeah, you get the sense that if it wasn't so far away, it would have completely lit the sky around you. Just a pure white light in the distance, quickly grows and then disappears.
I am quite keen in night and stars and so on as a half elf. So I kind of like just like sit there. I don't see it as a threat. I just like admire like the beauty of it almost, like of the landscape and the light and the moment of peace almost. I enjoy the conversation. I'm quite relaxed.
All right, so your shift is coming to an end safely. The first 3 hours have passed. And this would be an opportunity for you guys to switch shifts.
I walks towards Ham and I pet him kind of like on his shoulder. I try to make sure I don't do it too abruptly since I know he's been injured. and I slowly wake him up. It's your turn, guys. It's pretty quiet out there.
Yeah, I'll go for the gust since you're going to ham.
All right, you guys rest up so we can have so we can finish this quest out tomorrow.
Yeah.
So kind of get up and take a position near the.
How do you wake me
Opening.
up, Artsy? Just because, like, I do have my arm around to work.
I'm thinking about how I might. Alright, I got it. I'm gonna use my druid craft and kind of lean down by you, and I'll I don't know, create the smell or scent of like a skunk. Just like kind of snap my fingers and make it just a faint odor of skunk.
What is a
That
what is a
definitely wakes me
skunk?
up.
Sorry.
A skunk is basically a rodent that is black with a white stripes down the back, and
it smells like
basically
shit.
farts so bad that
Yeah,
you have to
yeah,
bake
okay.
tomato
Yeah.
juice.
Like the one on Looney Tunes. I see.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Like Pepe Le Pew. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Can I smell it
I'll
from
lean
here?
down and kind of.
'Cause
Probably not.
I definitely
Not
get far
out of
away
there.
from the smell.
I definitely wake up going, whoa, what the hell? How does Hope react, Vision?
Hope would immediately open his eyes and kind of start sniffing around, looking for it.
Oh, sorry,
Very
that was me.
intrigued by this.
Oops.
And you hear a tiny little, like a tiny little, trying to be intimidating, but you just can't be as a puppy, like a little growl.
Oh, I wake up like, So, what, you said that was you, Archie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was my druid craft.
I'm like, damn it, Gideon. And I pet Hope, and I'm like, it's okay. And I'm just like, rude of awakening. I was in a good sleep.
Yeah, it's your turn for watch.
I was like, fine. I was hoping to get at least another 5 hours, but okay.
Alright, I see a sack on the ground right here. I'm gonna lay on it.
I pick up Hope and I come over to Ham and I set Hope down like a little bit from me, and I'm trying to like teach Hope its name, so like I keep saying Hope, trying to like get it to call to me, try to get it used to it, like its life being a part of the group now.
Okay. And as you're doing that, Hope seems a little distracted, kind of just like looking around at the campfire, out into the distance across the open field. Not responding too much to the name yet.
I look over at Ham. I'm like, this poor thing. It's been through so much. I don't even know like how to start breaking down this barrier.
It's young. It's just how all young things are. As it grows older with you, you'll find the barrier will just kind of break itself down over some time.
I'm like, maybe. I'm still so young myself. To be almost a parent at this age is unheard of for my kind.
It's like, well, you got the help of, a few fellow adventurers, and hopefully I'd say friends, to help out.
I definitely look over at him and say, I definitely count you among a good friend. All the blows you take for us, all the shit you put up for us, I'd jump into an arrow for you.
Well, funny you'd mention that. So, you know how we're going to be traveling over to Slane soon for our quest for the guild.
I kind of nod my head in anticipation of the point.
I've noticed that you're, a pretty outgoing little goblin. As we approach, could you do me a favor and maybe just not draw so much attention to our party?
I kind of looked at you cockeyed. I'm like, reason for it? I'm like, it's a bard's life to entertain, and it's generally how I make my living. And pretty much the fact that my dad, who came home every so often, and Grail was my only real company growing up, being around so many people is just such a joyous occasion for me.
I mean, at the end of the day, you know, if that's what you're gonna do, just give me a heads up before we enter the city that you still intend to, you know, perform, and I'll kind of work around it. It's fine. Don't think too much on it.
Nah, I kind of ponder and go, you know what? You've done a lot for me. I can honor your wish. If I have to perform, my tell will be me tapping my wooden flute on my side before it begins.
I appreciate the heads up. That's all I ask for.
I nod my head. I'm like, I don't like verbal cues unless it's a performance. If you catch my dress.
Yeah, it works for me.
So I'm just sitting there, and I kind of go back to Hope, and I'm like, Hope, trying to like get its attention a little bit. Try to get back.
All right, go ahead and both of you make a perception check too.
Okay. Perception, there it is.
Okay.
All right, and Gust, also make a dex save.
Whoa.
Saving throw, Dex.
Oh.
All right. So as you guys are conversing with each other, Gust, you feel a tug at the collar of your armor. You feel like somebody pulls you gently to the east.
Okay. I don't know how to respond to that. I'm like, I kind of get pulled a little bit to the east, and I'm just like, Ham, someone's pulling me in that direction, and I point.
But there's no one in between us, though.
I kind of look out and like, do I see anything? Like, I'm hard scanning while keeping like Hope near me, just in case I need to pick it up and put it in my bag again.
Yeah, visually you guys don't see anything. The fields seem pretty clear. There's not really much sign of life outside of the night is very calm. Like outside of the sound of crickets, it's been relatively peaceful. You see no movement.
Are you sure you weren't just like starting to doze off and woke up and startled yourself?
I look at him. I'm like, no, I'm very much awake, engaged, trying to train my new friend here. This is getting to be annoying that I'm the one always getting pulled.
Well, do you think it's worth waking up the other two to, or should we maybe look around, see if there's anything weird?
I sit here and I'm like, if you can look after Hope for a bit, I'll do a quick scan of the area. I just want to double check. Don't wake up the group though. They need their rest as much as we did.
All right, so I'll walk over and like, you know, stand over Hope, make sure that.
I kind of like pets Hope's back, and I kind of point to him and be like, friend kind of thing, and then I start like, I want us like where's the road with this? I kind of want to like go this way and just like circle around kind of thing, see if I can notice anything further.
Okay. All right, so as you leave the camp, Hope kind of cranes his neck and watches you leave, and then quickly turns his head back to Ham, his little fluffy tail wagging, brushing around the dirt in the clearing. And you make a patrol around the camp, and everything seems very peaceful. You don't see anything, like no signs of life.
As I finish up patrol and I come back into camp, I look at him and say, nothing. But it was a very adamant pull.
Well, I guess there's nothing we can really do about it. Unless something else happens.
I'm like, I nod my head and say, but I'm like, This disturbs me. And I kind of like put Hope in my lap, and I just kind of like I just sit there looking off in the way, kind of doing nothing, just petting Hope, just trying to like relax my mind a bit, just like full on rest.
Yeah, and as you guys sit there finishing your watch, the sun starts to rise. You watch as the night sky slowly fades to blue as the morning begins. Your first day of camp passes safely and peacefully.
Nice. Was that a successful long rest for us all?
Yeah, so you all get 1 hit die back. And your spells.
Hell yeah.
Alright, give me like 30 seconds, I'll be right back.
No problem. Vision's got me on tilt with these random polls.
Hey, Lizard, you want to take my camera off? I'm gonna take this stuff off. Get it back to normal, whatever.
Sure, you're off. I'm gonna miss it though.
I'm gonna miss it too, I loved it.
Here you are.
I gotta look at my spells now. I got a
I
whole
think it was a
bunch of stuff.
mistake. There's so much like random hairs and stuff like, in my headset, and oh,
See, the problem is, McMagic, you're not used to having a luxurious beard like me, so it seems like a pain, but it's actually fantastic. It safeguards you.
Of
well,
course.
it's different wearing one than having one. Because like with you
That's true.
wearing them, it's like it's way worse.
Yeah, it's not real hair, it's kind of fake, so it's like scruffy, and then you got that netting underneath it. Yeah, you're
Yeah,
right.
and
You're
like
wrong.
none of it's actually where like it's supposed to be.
True.
Alright, I'm back.
Welcome back, Vision.
Alright, so your watch is over. Gideon and Liz are still asleep.
I look over at him, I say, you want to do Liz on the wake up? I feel much safer about Gideon.
Sure, that's fine.
I you go first, McMahon.
I'll walk over to Liz and I'll just give him just the lightest tap with the back end of my my glaive, so just a little poke in the shoulder. Trying to wake him up.
I wake up slowly but surely.
Alrighty.
What time in the morning is like? Is the sun like coming up?
Yeah, it's the morning's pretty young still. It's about 7 in the morning or so.
Okay. I come over to Gideon and I put Hope down and I try to like tempt Hope to lick Gideon's face.
All right, and Gust, you're motioning from Hope to Gideon and back from Hope to Gideon, and Hope stubbornly kind of just sits in the dirt and looks around, not really even at you, just kind of around the surroundings.
And I sit there and I'm just like, next time maybe. And I put my finger up Gideon's nose.
You said you put your finger up my nose.
Up your nose, yep.
I mean, I guess I'll wake up definitely from that. Kind of startled. Well, I mean, I don't expect to not be able to breathe.
No, it's just up one nostril. You'll still breathe just fine. But yeah.
That'll wake me up. That maybe
Classic Gust at this point.
I kind of giggle
it's fair.
and go.
It's fair.
I kind of giggle and go, payback for the skunk smell.
I'd rather that than the smell of skunk, though.
And I sadly agree.
Hope it's going crazy down there. Oh, Hope is
Sorry, I
going
stepped on his
crazy.
tail.
Oh, did I say warg? I meant wildcat. Oh man, we gotta
Yeah,
retcon some
we
stuff.
gotta. Holy, that's funny. I wake up after Hams, kind of like wakes me up, and I make sure I'm getting ready and I'm getting everything like packed and so on. Kind of like looking around my surroundings to see if there's anything. Kind of like alert. Do I notice anything around us as I wake up?
Your party seems to have done a good job with their watch. There's no signs of life around you, really. Some small game, rabbits, you can see out in the field, like waking up and starting to eat some of the grass with the morning dew. But you don't see like any threats or any large creatures around you, anything of that sort.
Perfect. Thank you.
Do I see you like actively looking around?
It was more like a brief look, kind of like,
No, okay.
yeah. It wasn't like a full-on alert. It was more like as I'm packing, I'm kind of making sure that everything's good.
So are we all like awake now? Like full on ready, kind of awake, kind of thing.
Yeah, if everybody's ready and awake, you guys are ready.
All right,
I'm ready.
I look at the group and I'm just like, before we head off, I just want to make a note. Something pulled me last night from the east.
I mean, I was standing 10 feet away. I trust Gust, but I didn't see it. Gust kind of did a lap around the camp, saw nothing, so and then nothing else happened.
I know it sounds really weird, but it was a definite tug.
Liz, what direction was that light in last night? Was it northeast or northwest?
It was vision.
Yeah, nearest mountain range.
Northeast then?
Yeah.
Northeast.
Also,
Yeah.
Lizard, music bot.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
Thank you.
Yeah. So anyway, Lizard and I saw some sort of light kind of radiating in the sky last night from the northeast.
I kind of sit there, ponder, and go, what kind of light? Like, can you get a little descriptive for us?
It was just like pulsating in the sky, like pretty far away. I couldn't really tell what it was.
Would it be anything I've seen or heard of before? Vision, the light, or something I recognize, since I do like looking at the stars and kind of thing at night.
Judging from Gideon's description and trying to think back to everything you've seen, it sounds pretty unfamiliar to you.
Okay. So I just go, maybe it was like a twinkling star or a comet or something. I don't know.
And I'll ask the same thing, being from the mountains and having my background. Is there anything I would know about this from their description?
Listening to the story they tell, it sounds very unfamiliar to everyone.
Okay.
I'm like, so I kind of look around the group. I'm like, all right, I think we got all of the goblins. Yeah, was this the path we're supposed to clear, or do we gotta go further out more? Kind of like trying to remember the quest marker for Ham here.
Well, she wanted it to get cleared all the way through the cave, so I'm
Yeah.
assuming we should find the cave and make sure that there's none actually at the cave.
This was just an outpost. We need to clear the cave so she can pick up her mushrooms and herbs. We should get going.
Yeah,
if
we
everyone's
wouldn't
ready.
want to tell her we killed all the goblins, only for her to venture back out and get attacked again.
No, I was going like, no, fair enough. I just couldn't remember because yesterday was such an eventful day that I kind of almost forgot.
No worries.
I put Hope in my backpack. I put on my big backpack and I go, all right, I'm ready. And I kind of look down at the passing what direction we came from, and I look down the other way, going, and I go, since she said the path tapers off, if I recall, we follow the path slightly disappearing, and I kind of point in the direction in which the path continues.
Do I, Vision?
Clear.
Do I have any sort of feeling if that's the right direction? Do I have any information? Do I have any sense of orientation where what way we should go?
The path dies off pretty quickly after this
But
overgrown path you're in.
Gus description kind of like matches what the enchantress told us, right? So
all right. So, what are you doing, Liz? Gus and Liz. Gus, you're thinking about traveling further.
yeah,
I'm trying to from the description that I recall from the enchantress, I'm trying, because she said when the path dies off, you turn off and the cave should be there. So I'm trying to
exactly.
get to that point where right when we see the cave, just to
Yeah,
make
basically.
sure.
I want to know if the cave is like ahead of us on the path that Gus was taking.
All right, Liz, go ahead and make a perception check.
Can I help him? Since I did a patrol last night, maybe I can help him and show him around.
Yeah, go ahead. Do it with the advantage.
Okay. Perception, yeah?
Yeah. Okay. You look off in the distance to the northwest, and you see that the what remains of the path dies off pretty quickly. And there's some, like a large rocky hill you can see. Maybe
Yeah.
it's probably about an hour's walk from where you are.
I look at the group and I said, we're looking for a cave, right? Must be over there. And I point at the like a rocky formation that is ahead of us. Not too far away. We should start walking.
I kind of go, logic stands, and I'm agreed.
Yep.
Yeah.
Take our marching orders.
Yeah, we start marching. Since
Alright. Yeah, so
I
the-
led
I'm
this
in the
one,
back.
I guess I'm on front since I chose the direction.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, it's fine.
So
All right, so we'll be
yeah.
traveling. It's about 3 miles from where you are. So one person, since the path dies off. Actually, you know what? You can see where you're going, so you don't need any navigator.
Okay.
And you guys will all be able to. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
You okay. I'll forage, but rather than for food and water, more for alchemy ingredients like sour grass, or if I see any, I don't know, big rocks that might have mushrooms, then I'd be looking for, red amanita.
Okay, so, all right, the party begins traveling. You guys are walking straight toward this rocky structure that you see off in the distance, or that Liz spotted. And Liz has a pretty clear line of sight to where this is, and he's able to get you there safely. On the way, Genyon, you keep your eye out for different herbalism materials. And you do find a patch of the sour grass, a wild patch that you're able to pick a couple of usable handfuls from. And you guys slowly make your way toward this rocky structure that you see.
As soon as the rocky structure starts getting within, starts getting close enough, I want to start looking around and being a little more aware of the surroundings for threats.
Okay. And as you're going, everything... Go ahead and make a perception check. Okay. As you're looking around, too, everything seems still calm. You don't notice any signs of danger. The fields are pretty open, and you would have a pretty clear line of sight to anything stalking you. And there's nothing around. Do you continue?
Hmm. Yep. I just keep walking.
All right,
I
so
try to camouflage myself a little by like hiding
All right, go-
like behind Gideon, like trying to like make myself a little smaller, appear like one.
all right, go ahead and make a stealth roll. All right, so Gust. Gideon, you notice that Gust kind of shrinks around behind you, and it's very obvious that he's it seems like he's intending to use you as a shield as he kind of like hides in the back of the group. And you guys keep making your way to this cave or this rock structure. You actually see an opening, and you do realize this is the cave.
Okay.
Cool.
I'll put you
Oh,
guys
that's a
right in
big
front of
map.
it. Yeah, I'll start using smaller maps from now on.
Yeah. Since because I'm behind Gideon, I'm kind of using him like as my barrier of stealthing. I'm just moving myself there.
Okay.
I obviously, as we get closer to the rocky structure, and I can see the entrance. I want to make sure if I can track or see any sort of like goblin, footprints or something that would like indicate that people have been going in and out of the cave recently.
I would like to also help him with that since I am a goblin and we've been facing goblin threats the whole way. I want to see if I can notice anything that he would miss being a goblin myself for trackings.
All right. So Liz, go ahead and make investigation check.
Advantage?
Yeah, actually do it with advantage
Yeah.
with Gust's help.
Okay.
All right. You do notice some tracks leading in and out of the cave. There's not a lot of tracks.
Okay.
It seems like the cave has only been entered maybe once or twice by definitely a goblin. You can tell with Gust's help that these are goblin tracks.
Are they recent?
You do notice they're fairly recent,
Okay.
maybe a day or two old. And then you definitely notice, too, in addition to that, many sets of human tracks leading in and out, some older than others.
I see. Well, I revealed this information to the group. This looks like it's our cave. Everyone ready? We don't know what's
Well,
inside.
yeah.
We came to kill goblins. I think it's time.
I kind of sit there and go, goblins are typically not very smart. Maybe we don't have to go in. Maybe we can lure it out.
We need to make sure that every one of them is dead. And the
So
only
what
way
if,
to do that is to go in.
I acknowledge that, but I'm like, if there is a lot of them in there, because even if we saw like only one track coming in and out a day, we don't know how many that could be in there. It could just be one coming out to scout, and even if we can take one by surprise, that's one less in there that we have to take on full force. I would like to lure out a couple.
But if a lot come out, or if there's a lot in there, if they all come out, we can get ourselves surrounded pretty quick.
I'm
Whereas
like, we could trap the front of the cave and get a couple on the way out.
all right, any ideas for how to lure them out?
Yeah, just hold on, I'm looking through my spell real quick to see what this does.
Fine.
All right, while you do that, just one
Yeah.
more second, guys. I'm sorry.
While
Okay, so Gust, you said that goblins have kind of an affinity for wargs.
ooh,
Yeah, we love to basically pair bond with them. We like to raise them, mount them, use them as battle.
So
mounts and
a
pets.
goblin wouldn't needlessly just kill a warg, right?
No, they'll try to tame it if they can, typically.
Okay, so what if I talk to your warg and send it in, and then let it, come back out, and then I can get some information on what's in there.
I mean, he's just a
We're
newborn
assuming.
pup. I don't think he would have the intelligence at this point to really do much. And considering he just got his eyesight back, he's been off in his own world. I haven't even been able to get him recognize his name properly yet.
I mean, I also have animal friendship prepared.
You can definitely see on Gut's face he's a little nervous about it because he doesn't want anything to happen to his warg.
Let me see what I have in my pack.
I kind of look and say, I'm a goblin. Maybe I could just go in and pretend to be a part of the clan and see if there's anything in
Oh,
there.
yeah. All right. Take everything off.
Everything?
All right.
Vision is.
So what are you guys doing?
We're discussing how to approach the situation. It seems like Guinean and Gast they have some ideas that they're discussing. So
I have a hunting trap that I could set down out here. I have some rope.
I'm like, I have a disguise kit. I could definitely disguise myself to be like would the goblins we saw before and go in.
So it's probably a safer idea. Yeah.
I take my bag and with Hope in it, and I look at him. I'm like, can he protect Hope, please?
Yeah,
got it.
It's an animal.
And then I take Grail's crossbow and all my daggers and stuff, and I put it down, and I use my disguise kit to make myself look like one of the goblins we attacked yesterday, and I take the basic wooden crossbow, and I look at the group, and I'm like, that other crossbow, make sure you don't fucking lose it. I'm like very adamant, like that is my prized possession outside that warg. And so I'm gonna use my disguise kit.
Okay.
Ooh. I get proficiency with it. Wait, what stat do I use on a disguise kit? Would it be charisma?
Yeah, use your charisma.
Okay. Nah, not terrible.
All right. So Gust, you dress yourself up like one of the more primal goblins that you encountered the day before. Not quite as refined as you are. Not as fancy. Probably definitely can't play the flute as well. It's almost a pretty spot-on impression. The only thing is that you notice these goblins aren't quite as green as you are, and that's really the only difference. But with a bit of dust and dirt from the ground, you're able to make your skin a little bit darker, more earthy.
I go. I look at Guinea and I'm like, tell me where the trap is exactly, because if I have to run out, I don't want to accidentally trigger it.
All right. Yeah. I'm gonna set my hunting trap down on the square that I'm on right now. Just as a precaution.
Okay.
I'm gonna take a position kind of over here so that if goblins come out, they might they'll see me and maybe run over the trap to try to attack me.
I am in this other corner, and I'm looking at this plan, and I don't really like this plan. I'm a bit, after yesterday's stuff with the work and knowing how emotional and irrational Gus can be, I'm definitely thinking to myself that he might be compromising the mission, even though I don't say anything.
And so what I first do is I enter just to peer in, see what I can see. Like, I'm still in the entrance, but I'm just looking in.
Okay, you look in, you don't see any signs of life. There's nothing seems to be stirring from inside.
Okay, I don't get any reveal.
Thank you, Zekar. I'll check it after the stream. Thank you.
I'm just asking because it's dark vision, 60 feet. So if it's dark, I can see a little ways in there.
Yeah, you can see inside. You don't see anything.
Oh, like
you don't see any creatures.
All right. And I just go, I don't see anything.
Okay.
So much for luring stuff out. I walk around the trap and I
I
I
kind
guess
of
we'll just go in.
I kind of grab my backpack
Uh,
off Ham and get all of my gear back on.
wait, how far in did you go?
I went into the entrance and he said I see no signs of life in the cave at all, and I could see 60 feet within dark vision. So like, and the cave doesn't look that very long in terms of the entrance scene. So
I
Okay,
look at Gust.
I'll pick.
Sorry, Ginian.
I'm gonna pick my trap up.
Okay.
That's it.
yeah, I'm re-gearing.
I look at Gust and I said, "Okay, we tried your way. Now, let's go in."
I'm like, yeah, let's go in. Like, I got my gear, got my backpack. I'm like, yeah, let's go.
I make a sign of stop to the party. 1 second. I'll go first. I'm gonna try to stealth and try to be a bit ahead of the party in order to scout as we move while stealth.
I would like to be the last one in and stealthy so I can watch our backside because there's been tracks along them coming in and out, so I want to make sure there's nothing coming in while we're inside.
That's a good idea.
All right, let's go ahead and roll stealth.
So, Lizard scouting front, I'm scouting back, essentially. Well, fuck.
Okay. Liz, go ahead. I assume you make your way into the cave.
Yep.
Okay. Go ahead and move your token.
Yeah.
All right. So you get
I
into the
guess
cave.
I am
I'm
like
probably
I would say that I'm
15 feet.
yeah, I'm trying to move like enough feet so they would spot me before they spot the group, kind of thing.
All right. Yeah. So you get in and you look around the cave and you notice there's like some piles of bones around. It looks like the meat had been chewed off of them like completely. Like there's teeth marks in the bones.
Okay.
There's not a lot though. The cave is relatively empty. And as you kind of look around, you see various mushrooms and vines growing along like the edges of the cave.
Okay. Do I make sure that what I see is the entirety of the cave?
You're ahead of me, by the way, Ginian.
Yeah, as you look
Say that
back,
again?
you see a
I'm the last one in, so you gotta go ahead of me.
There you go.
Thank you.
yeah, Liz. As you look around the cave, you see a very solid wall at the back.
Both
This
ends.
hill isn't. Yeah, the hill's not super big. You can kind of get the impression that the back of the cave wall is the actual back.
Okay. I look at the group. Seems empty. And I raise my voice and I kind of like, I adopt a more passive position and less like stealthy, crouchy.
Well, maybe the goblins we killed yesterday were just we were pretty close. They might have just made that camp. I don't know why they wouldn't make camp in this cave. It seems like a
Yeah,
better position, though.
Seems weird, yeah.
Maybe they're just traveling a lot, so they don't want to stay in one place for too long.
Seems
I mean,
odd.
it is weird that they're so far west, so they must be moving quite a bit to get over this far.
How can we make sure that there's no more of them?
We could just try to see if we can track where those the tracks outside.
I'm kind of looking down at the tracks I saw before, and I'm trying to like look at them, see if I get like a ballpoint on what direction the tracks headed out in, see if they did go for what Ham said, the camp that we slaughtered last night, or if there's another direction.
Yeah, I help. I definitely try to
Yeah, when you guys looked
participate on
earlier,
this.
yeah, when you guys investigated earlier, it looked like the tracks were going into the direction you came from.
Okay. Is there anything inside the cave that shows goblin activity, a recent goblin activity, aside from the chew marks on all that you described?
No, I mean the dirt's like worn down at places where it looks like maybe they had stayed for a night, but it doesn't look like this was like a cave infested by goblins. It looks all pretty recent and not a lot of footprint, if that makes sense. Like there's not like there wasn't a lot of living in here or anything like that. You see, like maybe you don't know how much a goblin eats, but maybe it was like a night's worth of food.
Okay.
The bones scattered around.
I'm like, all right, I think it's safe to say our mission is complete. Let's head back to town and restock up before we go on our real mission.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I don't see any point in sitting around here.
We should definitely make sure that we leave something in the door that we can describe to the enchantress. So if she comes back again, she can check it to see if a new group is inside or not. I don't feel that confident. There might be more than one goblin group. We can bring her the heads of the ones we killed. We prove we did our stuff. Of course, we impress her, and I smile at the party. But we should make sure that she's safe.
I kind of pull out my dagger and I leave a cross with like a horizontal line above it as a marking as like that's our symbol that we've been here, so she knows we did it.
Yeah, I just think it would be nice if we can leave some sort of like wooden branches or something that you know what I mean. So
I look at my Liz friend and I'm like, you know how independent she is. If we put in a trap or do anything to try and help protect her, it might just throw her off or frustrate her because it's a little more of an annoyance. You don't want to annoy the one.
no, not a trap, but just like a visual indicator. You know, like if she gets there and she sees that we put like leaves and the leaves are gone, where probably someone's been walked here or something.
I mean, we could just kind of destroy the tracks a little bit, and then if there's new tracks, then
Yeah, that's a good idea. Actually, we can do that. Clean the tracks. If there's new tracks, she knows. That's a great idea. And I took a branch or something that might be around, or like some leaves or something from the vegetation, and I start like using it as a one of the things you clean with the floor. I don't know the name
a
in English.
Swiffer,
Yeah.
broom,
Yeah, broom. Yeah.
whatever.
All right, and you're able to.
Well, I stop blocking the path obviously, and I come here, and
Yeah.
I'm still staying
outside.
hyper aware between the griffins, the goblins, the wargs, and the
And everything that Vision has thrown at
Yeah.
us. You know?
Yeah. I'm still like looking around to make sure nothing's coming at us while Liz is doing this.
Yeah. So you're able to like the ground is pretty dry right now. Kind of the last rain was a couple days ago, and the sun has been baking the ground, and you're pretty easily able to like shuffle around the dirt and cover the tracks.
Okay, good.
I kind of look over at Gideon and say, "Hey, didn't you say it was gonna rain today?"
I mean, the day is still early, so I wouldn't poke at him too much. But if it does rain, it'll be good because then it's more likely if anything comes back to leave noticeable tracks.
I nod my head and go, "That's exactly where I was going with it." So it'll be very obvious when she gets here next time if there's anything that's been here that we didn't deal with.
I kind of start walking to resume marching order, like to head back to town because I don't.
Yeah.
Get out of the cave. Oh, is Gideon?
I mean, Archie's probably still.
Gideon's AFK.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna take a
I don't know
quick
if he wants to do anything.
Yeah,
in
we
this
can
cave.
go to the toilet really quick, guys, if you need.
Yeah.
Like, let's take a 5-minute break.
I'll show you later. I'm back.
Oh, he's back.
Well, we're going to the toilet.
I go back.
Let's continue in like
we're taking
1
a
minute. Yeah, 1 minute.
short break.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you guys have been through one of the 5 things I have planned so far. Out of 5.
I'm back. Sorry, that was a good piece.
You guys can recap Genian.
Is Arx, you here?
Yeah. So when Lizard gets back, you guys can recap Genian, and Genian, you can see if there's anything you want to do.
This is a chill session. I'm actually kind of enjoying it. Nothing has
I was
tried
just
to kill
saying-
us yet. It's great.
Yeah, I was just saying you guys have been through one of the 5 things so far that I've planned.
I feel like you always have like tons
So-
of these things planned, and we just don't get to any of them.
Right? That's how I feel.
I'm alright with that.
It's also like it's the first time camping too, so it's we're being pretty cautious.
I mean, I'm pretty chill about it, right? And now that now that I know, like, because I only got a 6
I mean, I'm just
within the 2 sessions, and I know he said 8 hours for a long rest, that there's a little leniency depending on what happens.
There's a couple extra hours to get like 5 of sleep. You get like a 3-hour watch and 5 hours
I'm
of
back.
sleep,
I'm back.
basically.
Alright, so recap. We went into the cave, saw some gnawed on bones, but nothing was in there. We decided to come out, clean the tracks up so that if anything else came, the apothecary or whatever, I forgot what her name was, would know if there were any other creatures to be wary of, and then we were ready to head back. We weren't sure if you wanted to do anything in the cave.
Me?
Genian, Arxie.
Arxie?
I just recapped Arxie, he's not even here.
I'm back.
Oh. Did you hear my recap?
Did you just say it?
Yeah, like
I didn't.
it wasn't much.
I-
We go. So there's nothing in the cave. There was some like chewed on bones, but nothing to indicate that goblins were there for like more than a little while. So we just left the cave and cleaned up
I
the
do-
tracks.
I do want to look for mushrooms in this cave.
Oh, that's a good, before you leave.
You're gonna rob from Myriel?
Hey, hey, no one be gifting stuff to my girl, huh?
Yeah, go ahead and make an herbalism check.
I'm like, it's technically.
Are you doing
you
this
said
while
Just
while
before.
we're outside cleaning up the tracks?
I assume he did it while we were talking about all of this, right? Kind of like.
Yeah.
So,
Did you
so
say
we-
investigation or wisdom?
Herbalism.
Oh, herbalism. Okay.
Herbalism.
I look at Liz, I'm like, you robbing from your girl. She probably set up all this stuff in this cave.
I'm not.
I walked back
oh, nature.
in.
Oh yeah, my bad. Nature.
Yeah.
All right, so you look around the cave and definitely you're able to find about 4 potions worth of materials of your potion of cure light wounds.
Fuck.
Okay. I'll take it.
You will have to spend the time crafting them, but you have found the materials at least.
I'll I kind of come in and say like, hey, I don't think you should be taking this stuff.
I know my
that wasn't part of our
plants.
quest.
It's nature. They'll come back.
Fine, I leave with him.
All right.
All right, it's about 10 a.m. now.
How long of a trek back to Crossroads?
Well, it took us basically like a day to get here with fighting. So I imagine we'd get back before night.
Yeah, since you guys ventured to this cave, it's going to be about a 9-hour walk. You could maybe stretch the last bit of it out and push yourselves to make it the rest of the way. But it's going to be pretty dark by the time you guys get back.
So
Or I'm
what
sorry.
if
I'm sorry. You're
we
an hour out of your way. Yeah, so it's about 9. It's about 9 hours total.
So
It's about an 8-hour walk to the camp and then an hour to get here.
So it'll be 7 p.m. if it's about 9 hours, assuming nothing happens on the way there.
Yeah. So let's get going.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's try to make it there.
All right.
I would like to make sure that while we walk, and since I'm like in the front, kind of like leading with Gust, we make sure we kind of like go through the parts that we kind of like already cleared, and we know that the areas are somehow safe, and we're being really careful and really alert. And now that we know that the world is quite hostile around here.
Yeah, I want to like scout and keep an eye out for additional threats on the way back.
All right, so Gust is scouting. Anyone else?
Well, I am definitely looking around, especially kind of
Okay.
like making sure that there's no long distance threat that I could see from afar. You know, like more griffins or something like that.
Okay.
I kind of
Alright.
look to the guys behind us. I'm like, can you guys stay on alert to make sure we don't get ambushed from behind?
Yeah, I'll make sure nothing comes up
Yeah,
behind us.
I'll scout. I don't
So,
really
yeah, I
need to
think we're all
forage
just
anymore.
we're all just kind of scouting. It seems like,
Yep.
because since we've already we know the path is there, so
Yeah.
Yeah, we know the route. We just need to make sure it's safe and we don't get
Yeah.
screwed.
Yeah. I was just trying to make use of the guard for a long trek on Ham, so because he can alert of ambushes with that one, while scouting is just using our passive perception to be aware. So
Cool.
yeah.
All right, so you guys start making your trek back to Crossway. About an hour passes as you travel through the open plains west of the city. You don't notice any threats as you go. It's relatively peaceful. You make your way through the camp, past the bodies of the goblins that you left laying out in the open as rough terrain. You travel about another 3 hours more, passing the warg bodies, the carnage from the day before, reigniting the memories of the fight against the wargs, the ground torch, bodies and blood everywhere. Complete destruction in your wake.
Hey,
Still, no signs of enemies. The road seems to be clear. Another few hours pass, and you find yourself at the same rock where you encountered Tavian. The signs of the fight still apparent in the dirt, the scuffles, the burn marks from Tavian's missed fire bolts. and still no signs of any threats. But you travel maybe a couple hours more, getting a bit closer to where you first encountered the hippogriffs. And you see, very faintly in the distance, 4 humanoid figures.
Can they see us?
They seem to be distracted by something. You would assume it's the corpse of one of the hippogriffs. They seem pretty distracted.
Do they look armed? Can we tell?
You're pretty far away still, but it looks like they have weapons.
Is there a way to get close to these individuals while not being seen, like stealthy, outside of the road? I remember that area was quite
I don't know
plain.
if we have a map for this or not.
I remember it was quite a plain area. It only had a couple trees, but maybe we can get to a reasonable distance, like...
We could, me and you, Liz, could scout out forward with stealth checks and get a little closer just to be safe.
Yeah. I think we should definitely approach the situation with caution.
I nod my head in agreement. I'm over fighting after yesterday. I want to avoid if we can and just get back to Crossroads.
All right, go ahead and make stealth checks. All right,
Yeah,
so you guys,
I
Gust and Liz, you're getting in. Are you scouting also ahead? Are you moving ahead?
Don't.
Oh, oops, I was muted.
I would assume so.
No, I'm sticking with the group. It's just I didn't really have anything else to do but scout.
Yeah, I think Gust and Liz,
Remind me.
you guys were going ahead, right?
Yes.
Of the group.
Yeah, we were going ahead. Yeah.
We were
All right, so
trying to get
you guys
close.
are
Yeah.
trying, yeah.
Trying, yeah.
I
You guys
chose
are
my
at
words.
a bit of a
You know? Sorry.
You guys are at a bit of a disadvantage here anyway because you're in open fields with just some scattered trees, and you could attempt to hide behind a tree, but there's like hundreds of feet of walking distance between each one where you'd be exposed. You're still a few miles out from these figures, though. And you're able to get a little bit closer. Go ahead and both of you make perception checks, too.
Hey.
All right. As you get a bit closer, you see 4 dwarves standing around the body of one of the hippogriffs. And they look armed. They appear to be wearing the same sort of... It's almost like a uniform. But there's variance between, you see one of them has like a leather sash, different colors of furs on him, but the base of the armor is very similar.
Have I seen the armor before? Because I did meet a lot of different groups in the guild.
You don't recognize it from Crossway
Okay.
or anybody that has come through, at least in recent years.
Okay.
Dwarves here.
At least from what you guys can see from where you are.
Yeah, I look at Gust. I'm pretty confused. Dwarves?
And your ears kind of perk up a bit.
Am I within hearing distance of them, so I could tell they're dwarfs?
They're like 3 miles away from you.
Okay.
I want to. Can I see if they are like friendly folk, or if they're more of a brigade, more defensive kind of attack on sight?
Would you like to walk up and ask them?
No, I'm kind of like observing at a distance to see if I could pick up any nuances.
they're all kind of just you don't get you can't get much of a read on anything. They're kind of just surrounding the hippogriff body, looking at it, and Liz, you can kind of hear like some muffled grumbling between the four of them.
I don't
can
recognize any
pick it.
words, right? Or
You can pick out some words.
any specific word?
You hear she, dwarf, west.
She, okay. I think they're talking. I look at Gust. I think they're talking about the hippogriff. I think she was a female, right? I think we should go back. Tell Ham about it, and let's see what we do about it.
I nod my head, and I even more quietly try to like stealth even harder back to not to alert them.
Yeah, I think we go back to the group, told them what we've seen, and maybe we can have a conversation about it.
Yep.
As you guys are leaving, one of them, you catch one of them. He looks up at you guys. He sees you like trying to walk through the fields carefully, and his attention gets turned back into the conversation. He, one of the dwarfs beside him speaks, and he kind of disregards you and goes back to the situation at hand.
Do they ignore us?
He noticed you, but his attention was kind of immediate. It looks like his attention was immediately like ripped back to what he was doing.
We definitely see that he sees us, right?
Yeah, you see it.
Okay. So let's go back to the party and discuss it, I think. So.
Yeah, let's go back.
So I assume they convey all this information to us.
Yeah, I talk to Ham especially. Okay, there's a few dwarves. They're armed. They're wearing armors I've never seen, and they definitely saw us. Do you know, it was quite hard to stealth in that plane. What? Sorry, Gideon?
They weren't part of the guild?
Nah, they didn't look like guild members.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of different guild armors and stuff, and for what I could see at the distance, I didn't recognize any of them.
I don't know how you guys feel, but the mission's been done. Maybe we should avoid any trouble. Just like go to our destination, avoid conflict. They didn't seem bothered by us, but I don't know.
I mean, just try to walk around them. Is kind of steer clear of them.
Okay.
If we ignore them, they'll ignore us, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Right. Let's walk past them, but not like so past them that we're like getting super far away from the road. Just like we'll have, they're dwarves, right? So they're not gonna be really fast, I guess.
I look at Ham and I say, I think Ham should lead the way while we walk past them, because a dwarf seeing another dwarf, less likely for conflict.
That's a good idea.
I think I should be on the other side of us.
Really?
Yeah, I'd prefer not to be in the front.
Not a good friend of your own kind, huh? There's 3 of us now. Well, I guess 4, huh? And I look at Gust.
I mean, I look at it like, what do you mean? I've lived a sheltered life.
Nothing. So I guess that's what we do. We're just gonna walk past the group at a safe distance where they couldn't just like rush us or anything like that.
I look at him. I'm like, if you don't want to be noticed, I'm like, try to be a little quiet. You know what I mean? Wink, wink.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Gust is gonna teach us how to be quiet. Come on, let's get going.
All right, and then in order to get in this open terrain, in order to get enough distance away to where they wouldn't notice you again, it would be a couple hours to like go out of your way.
I don't think it needs to be that. I was thinking something just like
50 meters,
just like half a mile or something.
Oh, really? Okay.
Like they could see us, but not like we're not like walking right past.
them. I don't want to be at weapon distance, if that makes sense. You know.
No.
Not even shouting distance. Like they'll be able to see us, but like not even be able to make out what like they'll just see 4 like humanoids, right?
They're dwarves.
I mean,
they won't be able to see our details.
They'll be able to see you're shorter than the others. You and Gust.
Yeah, it'll just be like 4 figures kind of walking.
Yeah, I say let's go about 150 feet around them, so it's not that far off.
Okay, that sounds good to me.
They will be able to see you.
No, yeah, it has to be
You
like
can
I'd
can
rather do
see
like
3
800
miles.
feet.
You
Yeah,
can see 3 miles provided it's not obstructed.
But you're not going to see much detail at 150 feet, right?
No, you'll see a lot of detail at 150 feet.
I'm blind IRL, so 150 feet to me is just blur.
No, you can see a lot at 100. You have to be like 800 feet away. I
Hey,
think.
I spot what I need to spot at 100 feet away if needed.
800 feet's quite a bit.
Okay, let's do
I can
350.
see
Let's
100 feet.
compromise and do 250 feet, so it's not a pain in the ass.
Fine.
Okay.
Just whatever. We'll be like 250 feet away.
Subtract the time that is equivalent to
Yeah,
that.
so it doesn't really look to the other party like we're going out of our way,
Mm.
but we're also still trying to keep our distance a little bit from them.
And about an hour passes. You get a little bit closer. Another hour passes. They're becoming much more clear. And this is where you sort of veer off the path a bit. And you start making your way past the area where you fought the hippogriffs. And you're kind of keeping your eyes on the party of dwarves as you make your way. And as you sort of like perpendicularly pass where they are. You guys kind of line up, and you watch as all of their heads raise, and they kind of turn to look at the group. And they stand and they stare for a moment, all of them sort of turning to face your direction, and one of them calls out, "Excuse me? Can you help us?"
I kind of look back at him and go, "Your call, mate."
Can we tell if
Yeah.
is the shout aggressive or?
Do I, now that I'm close enough, do I recognize like their armor, or am I close enough to see?
You recognize it as you can see that it's some variation of like what the Diamond Forge would wear.
Okay. I'll yell back. What's the problem?
All right, and I let Ham lead the way, and I go in behind him, but I kind of just listen and observe. Very
Yeah.
intently.
I'm looking around to make sure that we're not getting ambushed or anything like that. But again, it's a plane, so. But I'm definitely cautious.
You don't see anything
Yeah,
around you as
I'm
far
not
as
really
an ambush
approaching
would go.
them yet. I'm just shouting back
Okay.
since we're in shouting range of each
Okay.
other.
Okay.
Are they still in the same spot all this time?
Yeah, they're all
Right next to the hippogriff body.
Yeah. And they sort of yell back, "We're looking for some goblins."
Oh yeah, we already killed them all.
Well, we were tasked with finding them. Can you prove it?
I look at him, pull out a head.
Yeah, we.
Sorry.
Pull out a head. Show them a head.
Yeah, I'll pull out a head, but and see if they're close enough to see it or not, and make it out.
They you see them. They kind of like hold a hand above their eyes to block out the sun. You kind of see them like squinting a bit and looking your direction. "Can we approach? Is it safe?"
Yeah, and I'll just start walking towards them.
I'll walk in behind Ham. Because I'm a goblin. They're looking for goblins. I'm a little worried now.
All right. So is everybody going?
Yeah, I'm going, but can I be a little stealthy just to like try to like use my cloak to cover my head up a little bit? Because if they're looking for goblins, I don't want to be on their hit list.
I'm an elf. I'm walking proudly. I'm not showing, and have my chest out. I'm better than the.
Am I able to conceal myself enough vision to let them know I'm not a goblin?
It'd probably be more of like a deception, wouldn't it? than a stealth. I mean, I guess it's
I could do either or.
Yeah, you're right.
'Cause
Make a
you-
deception check because you can't really be stealthy
Well,
out
I'm in
here. You're
behind
trying to
Ham,
conceal
so I was trying
what
to like
you
hide in
are.
behind Ham, like be the background character no one really notices. That was the goal.
All right, that works.
yeah.
Okay.
So you're all approaching.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, and you start walking from the south, where you guys had circled around. Also, 1 second.
Lizard, switch spots with me because I'm supposed to be behind Ham.
Yeah. Okay. No worries.
Thank you.
Gotcha.
Love you, BB. I'll give you a happy present later tonight.
Whoa, nice. That's my favorite.
All right, so you guys.
as we're walking up, like, actually, never mind.
Yeah. So, are you guys gonna walk closer?
How like
What are you doing? Are they
visible is
coming out to
everything
meet you?
right now?
You can see them very clearly now. They're
Okay.
not very far.
How
Okay.
well
Like
do they
60,
see
what was
me?
that, like 60 feet.
How well do they see
What?
me? How well do they see me? Because I'm trying to like use Ham as a shield, so I don't want to get too much closer.
They know you're back there. They can't really. They're not. They don't. They can't tell what you are.
I kind of tap Ham's shoulder and say I don't want to get much closer than this.
It sounds good to me. So I show him the head again and say, I've got 10 more of these if you want to see them all.
10 more. Yeah. Let us have a look.
I'll throw one of the heads over to him.
And the four kind of walk forward and look. They're not really looking at the head though. They're kind of keeping their eyes on the group.
So what brings, why are you guys looking for goblins?
Oh, the goblin thing. That was a bit of a white lie. And they kind of start circling around the group.
Oh. I
I take my crossbow.
I take
and
a spot. I take a spot back. Do we need to roll
Yeah.
initiative?
Yeah, I think it's.
Not yet.
Look, I kind of look and say, book it.
So what was the lie for?
We're looking for a dwarf. And one of the other ones over here kind of speaks up. He says, I guess she was right. A dwarf did head this way. Left a trail of bodies for us to follow.
She was right. He's.
Well, I mean, I'm a dwarf. What dwarf are you looking for?
Can I take a shot at
What's
these
your
guys?
name?
What?
Wait. I'm tapping my flute.
The name's Ham.
I'm like tapping my flute a little loud so Ham can hear the tapping.
Ham, make a deception check.
I would like to help him.
This isn't something that you'd be able to help with.
You sure about that? I got a whole script lined up to help.
I'm very sure. And Ham. And they squint and kind of look forward. They're looking very intensely at you.
I kind of.
And they kind of go ahead.
I'd be like, yeah, that's what we call him for short. It's a nickname. His actual name is Joey. trying to like give a glare at at Ham.
Oh, so he's trying to be deceptive then. Using a fake name?
No,
Ham?
no, it's not a fake name. It's a nickname. Do you know how that works? You know how much ham this dude ate?
I do enjoy
they're,
my
uh,
ham.
They're kind of ignoring Gust at this point and closing in.
Can we attack them, Vision? At what point?
If you would like to initiate combat, you can attack them.
I definitely attack.
No, no.
Alright.
They're
I
just.
pull out my glaive when I.
I mean, I should attack, right?
I don't think so. They're looking intently. If they're in range, if they were going to kill us, they would have done so already.
No, like I draw my crossbow.
One of the dwarves speaks up.
Aim it. Let them know.
Okay. Say Vision.
This one doesn't have the white beard.
Oh,
This isn't the one.
and I just kind of like, fucking like gasp a little.
And he catches out of the side of the one closest to the group here, kind of like notices everybody like their hands are inching closer to their weapons.
My hands are in the weapon.
Wait, you're looking for a dwarf with a white beard? What? You realize that yesterday we killed hippogriffs, this weird shadow dog, 11 goblins,
Wargs.
wargs. We're kind of on edge here, in case you haven't noticed. And all because you're looking for a dwarf with a white beard, and I clearly don't have a white beard.
Ah. Sorry, brother. We're a bit on edge too.
I'm like, and so I kind of like speak up and say, to make it clear, you're not looking to kill me, right? And I'm like, I'm a goblin. I'm just being safe here.
Kill.
Thank God. I'm like, okay, can you at least give us some insight why you need a dwarf with a white beard? That seems like a common thing of your kind.
And who told you about us? An old dwarf.
They kind of look at each other, and one that's clearly, you can kind of tell he seems to be like the leader of the group. He thinks for a second. It's an order from our new king.
New king? Care to relay the politics to us Westerners?
We don't talk about our politics. It stays in the mountain. And one of the ones on the side here, like, kind of shoots a quick word over to the leader-looking dwarf in the front. He says, "Seems like the alchemist sent us the wrong way. Seems like a bad lead."
I mean, the alchemist knew I didn't have a white beard. It seems like a pretty simple thing for her to say, oh, yeah, he didn't have a white beard and you didn't have to waste your time and our time. I'm like clearly like aggravated with them for like kind of not just wasting our time, but also like we've had a long 2 days. We just want to get back.
Maybe that's on us. We just asked for any dwarves that were fresh to Crossway.
Yeah, be a little
Keep an
more
eye out for
specific.
us.
I kind of pipe up and say, be a little more specific when you ask questions. Next time. Like, trying to, like, show them, like, a few more questions could save them days worth of work.
And as you kind of speak up in the back, they all seem to be pretty annoyed. You notice their facial expressions change. There's no need to be rude back there.
I'm like, not being rude, being observant.
Is there anything else about this dwarf? Is he dangerous? Should we if we see him, be cautious of him?
He's nobility. I don't think he's that dangerous.
Is he alone? That's my only question.
What was the question?
Is he by himself, like traveling alone?
As far as we know, he's alone.
Well,
And then one of the dwarfs speaks up again. Well, back to Crossway then. And the leader kind of nods back to him.
but before they leave, I asked, well, the Adventurers Guild's gonna have us heading over to Slane for a quest. If he's a dwarf from the mountains, maybe we run into him out there. If I see him, where should I go? Like, should I return to Crossway and try to find you guys, or can I go somewhere else and report him somewhere else?
I'll tell you where you go. And the lead dwarf kind of is the one speaking. You get 10 feet close to him. You put a bolt in his head, cut the head off, deliver it to Urin's Hall.
Is there a bounty?
Maybe. If you're persuasive.
I feel like I should know what this dwarf is guilty of before I just end him.
I spit in the floor.
From what I
Fucking bounty
heard,
hunters.
I kind of, from all the observing, the information being ran around, I'm like, he's nobility, he's being hunted. What do you think? A revolt?
I want to hear it from them. Why are they hunting this noble dwarf? I don't want
It's
to.
dangerous, right?
Treason. Plotting against our king. Trying to overthrow the families of Urin's Hall.
The new king. Who was the old king?
The new king, Bearer. Bearer Moonbeard. I'm sure you've heard of him from House Moonbeard.
Yeah. I mean, I picked that up from the white beard and the nobility, but I wasn't aware that Bearer had moved up and became the king.
He took over his house, and then took over King of the Mountain. He's really done a lot for us.
Oh, sorry. I've been in Crossway. What exactly has he done?
His father, in charge of keeping our halls safe, pulled all of the Diamond Forge from the mountains to the north, redirected our forces to the south, and our home was overrun. Bear stepped up, put the Diamond Forge back in the north to keep us defended on both sides. After vanquishing the goblins from Whitetooth Mountain.
I kind of cock my head at this goblins of Whitetooth Mountain. How many?
The entire horde.
I kind of sit there and go, holy shit.
Hold on, I gotta look at something quick.
I'm like, that is an impressive feat. Goblin hordes are massive.
And the Diamond Forged are well trained.
I give a bow of respect and say, I'm impressed.
I look at him and I say, I don't understand why Druid would pool all of the forces from the north. That doesn't make any sense.
Exactly. He put our entire home in danger.
I'm like, well, since you guys are keen on talking and we're both heading back to Crossway, can we at least start moving while you guys have this discussion?
How
We were
late is it?
actually.
Or how long have we spent talking?
It's about 6 p.m. now. The sun is starting to set.
These short legs will slow us down. And I look at the Ham. I don't mean to offend you.
We're planning
No,
on
it's
camping
okay.
here
We
tonight
really should
anyway.
get going.
I start walking. I didn't
I'll
really
pick up
like
all
these
the-
guys.
The goblin heads and make sure I have all 11 of them.
Yeah,
I
this group
kinda-
kind of breaks away too and like goes back to the road. And kind of like talks amongst themselves.
Yeah, we're gonna take the road back to Crossway, like ahead of them.
Uh,
I'm staying in the back to watch them though, to make sure we don't get ambushed or anything.
as the group leaves, I ask Ham, "Are all dwarves like this?"
No, they're of the military faction of the dwarves. They're always a little say rough around the edges.
Yeah.
Yeah, normally you guys are good drinking buddies. As I laugh and giggle a little.
Let's keep
Ham, you can kind of tell they're not. They seem a little different from the traditional Diamond Forge too.
Okay.
They're a lot. What's the word? Not as. It's not that they're not as well trained, but they're a lot less formal.
Gotcha.
All right, let's keep going. Those guys would have
You guys,
attacked us.
I'm definitely on guard though.
Yeah, they seem not too concerned about you guys now. They all kind of like stand in the road and they're kind of like whispering between each other. And they don't seem to follow you. And you're able to make it's about another couple-hour journey. You make it back to Crossway as the sun is like disappearing behind
Woohoo!
the horizon.
Home, sweet home, I guess.
I guess as we come into town, we'll stop at the apothecary.
I kind of mentioned it's late at night. She may not be there. It'd be better to drop in the morning.
Yeah, probably. At what time do we get in, Vision?
It's about 9.
I mean,
would say.
these goblin heads are kind of starting to smell. It's
Yeah,
already
we should
been
probably drop the heads
almost
though.
2 days. I don't really feel like carrying these around anymore.
Drop the
Unlike we're in
heads, go to
Crossway,
bed,
we're-
and leave.
Unlike
I'd rather
we're-
not have anything to do in the morning. Just be able to get a nice start.
You don't need to. You don't need to come, Gust. We can go. You can start preparing everything at home. It's all right.
I nod and say, "All right, I'll leave the door unlocked for you guys. Then you know remember where it is, right?"
Yep.
All right, and I kind of head home.
All right, and everybody else is going to the alchemist.
I am going.
Yeah,
I'm
see
going.
if she's still up.
All right, you get you make your way to the northern part of town, northeastern, to the alchemist's establishment. You guys get there, and all of the lights are off.
Hmm. I
Well-
knock on the door, I guess. First thing I do.
You knock on the door, and there's no response.
Well, it looks like the goblin was right. No one seems to be home. Can I scream her name?
Yeah, you yell out.
What was
For
her
Muriel.
Muriel! Muriel!
There's no response.
I look at the group. Well, I guess the goblin was right. Can I inspect the house to see if there's any, like, maybe the door has been forced or something? This seems a bit weird that she's gone like that.
You look at the door, and there's no signs of like breaking and entering or anything.
Everything looks like when we left. Yeah?
Yeah, everything looks pretty much the same.
Alright. I guess we can leave the heads, though, in the door, right? We don't need to carry
Yeah,
them.
I was just gonna leave the heads over here.
Yeah, we can
Just drop them
pass
in a pile.
we can pass by like next morning when we leave, and if she's there, we can have a talk. If not, well, she could get the surprise when she gets home.
Yeah. I guess we'll go back to Gus's house.
Let's go back to
All
Gus.
right.
We'll leave the goblins.
So while they're on their way back, I want to take the opportunity while I'm at home to try and do some more name training with Hope. See if I get any success with it.
Okay.
I'll be right back. I gotta do something. I wasn't just gonna go to sleep. I don't have anything planned for unless something happens.
Okay. Go ahead and.
I'll start making some healing potions to set overnight.
All right. And
I'm
go ahead and use your herbalism kit with wisdom.
Do I make any success on the name training while they're on their way back? Real quick.
You notice there's not much difference between last night and tonight. You, based on your knowledge of wargs and your natural bond with them, you realize that this puppy is maybe only a few weeks old. It's very young still. And
How do I
you
use
know,
my
like,
herbalism kit?
you can click it in your tools. You know that at the very least it takes a warg puppy about 6 months to mature on the lower end. And this puppy is very young still and kind of out of it. It hangs around you pretty closely. It doesn't stray too far from your side. But Hope is still not responding to his name.
All right. I want to try and incentivize the name with a little bit of food.
Okay. And you say, Gust is saying Hope repeatedly as he feeds. Are you feeding Hope some of your rations for now?
Yeah, the meat that was in my bag. I'm gonna get some food and stuff tomorrow. So.
Okay. All right, and Gideon, you start brewing up some of your potions, and you're able to do it pretty quickly and efficiently. You get the sense that these will probably be ready by about 3 p.m. tomorrow.
Okay.
You just you let the mixture sit and kind of stew within the vials.
All right, I'll just set those out overnight.
I am sitting in the table while I watch Gust. I'm kind of like observing how Gust is like, training the puppy and so on. I was just watching.
I kind of pull up a seat and say, look, we should have a small talk about those dwarves we ran into. As you guys know, I was a blacksmith apprentice, so I kind of heard some of the, I knew a little bit about the nobility, but if it's true that one of the nobles is on the run for treason, the longer they go, those guys go without finding the dwarf that they're looking for, the more violent they're likely to become. So just be aware that they might start just attacking any dwarfs if they get desperate enough to try to please the new king.
I ask while he's telling this story. I kind of figure out that I actually don't know much about Ham. So why did you leave?
Well, see, as I was forging weapons, I kind of found I liked using them more than making them. But my master was never fond of me using it. Kept getting disciplined for practicing with the weapons instead of making them. So I just, decided to leave and start an adventure where I could actually use the weapons. It's really not too much to my story.
Why not join and I kind of like make a gesture, kind of like pointing out outside. Why not join the big brothers, kind of like the big boys that we just, the cocky military guys.
I'm just I was just a simple, apprentice blacksmith. They would never take one like me. I don't have any.
That's good to hear, because you're not like them. You're better.
I can't turn around and say you have no night program where a commoner can go up into the rankings through warriorship.
I mean, it was already like a pretty good station to be a blacksmith. It's kind of a sought after thing that I got into pretty luckily. But if I turned that down, they would not have taken me. They would have just said go back to being a blacksmith. It's what I was good at.
I kind of nod my head and give my attention back to Hope, but still listening in.
You're definitely better. You're definitely good at other stuff. You prove it to us in this adventure. And I kind of like put my hand on his shoulder. You're really valuable in this party.
I kind of speak up and say, "Yeah, you're really good at drinking ale too."
I make a like fucking Gust. Can't even have like a serious conversation with him around. Kind of like make a nod. Like, all right, tomorrow. I kind of like direct myself as a group now. We shall leave to Slain. What's called Slain?
Slain.
Yeah.
And do our actual mission. In the morning, we shall give a visit to the Enchantress and see if she's up. But,
I turn around and say, I need to get feed for this one. I can't keep feeding him my rations.
I look at Gideon. Don't you have some rat meat?
I mean, yeah, it's part of my rations, but I've got 16 rations on me, so I can spare some more.
Maybe we can go to the marketplace, get something you can feed Hope.
Yeah.
I'm like, feed is lighter than rations to carry around, I'll be honest.
Hey, you
We
made
need a
your
pouch
choice.
dedicated to it.
I told you, if she slows us down, she will have to leave. So I don't want to hear no complaints.
I'm not complaining, I'm just saying, I just got her, I gotta do my initial setup. Once I'm set up, I'll learn to salvage and scour, maybe pick up a thing or two from our druid friend here, so that way I don't have to keep buying food.
You heard me. I start walking towards my bedroom. Well,
I kind of shoot an arrow in the door next to him in my own house and say, and you heard me.
Did he shoot an arrow at me?
No, at the door next to you. I didn't aim at you. I would hit you if I could shoot you.
I completely ignore him.
Yeah, I go to bed. I'm tired.
I pick up Hope, take the arrow to my door, and curl up into my room.
This cocky bastard, what is he doing? I'll kill the fucking cat.
That's a good way to start an inter-party war right there.
You're the one shooting stuff. Okay.
You're the one threatening.
You're slowing down the party.
So are you with your threats.
I'm not. I'm sleeping, by the way. I am sleeping.
So are you.
I am sleeping.
All right. Worn out from a long day of travel, everybody retires to their beds and one by one falls asleep, drifts off into a full, restful sleep. Everybody has their spells, hit dice, HP full. And the next morning, Gideon, you're the first to wake up. And you listen and you hear no signs of life in the house. It seems like your party members are probably a bit worn out and might need a little assistance.
Well, first I'm gonna check and see how my potions are doing. I'm assuming they're probably not ready yet, but
Yeah, you see that they're starting to turn a deep red color, but some of the liquid mixture in there, the water, it's still a little watery looking. You're waiting for the mushrooms to like fully settle into the potion. You can tell it probably has like another 6 hours. It'll be about 3-4 p.m. before they're fully brewed.
well, I don't wanna rush anyone awake, so I guess
Right.
I'll just
The other
I'll just sit over here for a little bit.
Right, yeah. Finally, like maybe 30 minutes or so later, everybody else, you start to wake up.
I step out of my bedroom and I walk out. Say good morning. Good morning, team.
Hello.
I get out of bed and I walk to the door and I turn around and say hope, and with a little piece of meat in my hand, see if he'll come on command.
All right, and maybe not necessarily reacting to the name yet, but at the sign of you stirring, and the smell of meat, Hope kind of. All right, let's confirm now: is Hope male or female?
Ooh,
Gust.
we'll say male.
I completely assumed
Alright,
his
so-
gender. So okay.
Yeah,
We'll say male.
we need to cancel. Cancel Liz.
Yeah.
Put bulletins all over Crossway.
I completely assumed he was a female based on the name. So yeah.
All right, so you kneel over and hold out some rations, and Hope kind of tippy taps, bounces his way over to you, real happy, tail wagging, and he starts just like tearing apart the rations, devouring them.
All right, and I leave out the door, and I'm trying to get Hope used to following me, so I don't. I just like say Hope, kind of look behind me, and just expect him to follow. Trying to teach him not to like try to keep up.
Yeah, he real awkwardly follows behind you. His long nails kind of like slipping on the hardwood floor, but he follows you as close as he can. His eyes fixated on your backpack where you pulled the rations from.
And I say, "Good morning, all."
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hello.
I'm eager to see if they got our package last night. So I'm just gonna head over there quick this morning. Just run over.
To the
I go-
enchantress?
Yeah.
I'll go with him. And as
I
I'm
look at Liz when he says enchantress. I'm like, remember, man of action. Remember our talk? Trying
Yeah.
to like break bread from last night on the threat.
and I remember, you had some stuff to buy, right? It's a good time while we wait for his potions.
I said that was the game plan.
Perfect. And I smile as I'm leaving the room.
All right, so Gideon, what are you doing?
I guess I'll just leave my potions here, and I'll go with them. And I'll just come back for the potions later.
All right, so you guys make your way back to the alchemist, Muriel's filters. And as you approach, you notice the goblin heads are still there, like sprawled out in front of the door. And there's a loud buzzing as a swarm of flies are kind of like migrating to these heads.
Oops.
I'll maybe we shouldn't have put them right in front of the door.
Maybe
Let's
we
just
Maybe we can burn them or something.
Hey, remember when I said you should take the heads home with me last night? Yeah, it seems like a good plan, Keck.
Shut up and go buy your rations.
No, that was purely metagame. That was
yeah.
actually,
You're
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
buying, right?
yeah. While you guys are doing this, I'm off doing
Okay.
ration and feed.
Can we like burn them so they're still there, but they They're not like maybe Guinean. Can you do something about the heads putrefying?
Let me look at my prepared spells real quick. Not sure if I can this time.
I mean,
a bit of a
we could
rust.
always just
Come burn them.
we could just like bury them on the side of the house.
Yeah, but she has to see them. That's the point.
I mean, she'll see that there's something buried and then unbury them. If she's that curious.
Maybe we should just burn them. She will see the skulls. Yes?
I can. It's up to you guys.
Sure.
Okay, burn them.
All right, I'll breathe my fire on them.
All right. Go ahead and make a perception check, Guinean.
Okay.
All right. So you get close to the pile of goblin heads, and you breathe in a deep breath, ready to set the pile of heads ablaze. And you notice a dirty piece of paper, kind of that you didn't notice the night before, now kind of illuminated under the sunlight.
I'll go ahead and pick it up.
You breathe out. Yeah. So you breathe out, and the heads all kind of catch on fire. This is you had only like a couple of seconds to notice it. You are already in the motion. It's just as you look to aim, it catches your eye, and you're able to divert the blaze a bit so it doesn't catch the note on fire.
Okay, good.
Okay. I'll go ahead and pick that up and see what it.
All right, so
it says something.
As Guinean picks this up, let me put this in your handouts, Guinean. Guinean, as you're picking this up, Ham, you notice a urine hall seal, like a wax seal, keeping it shut. Sorry, this cat is biting me. So distracting. All right, Guinean, you have the note.
You said in my handouts?
Yes.
I don't see it. I have the world map, but that's it.
It's in the same spot. It should be in the same spot as your herbalism recipes.
Oh. Okay.
Notes.
Oh yeah, my
Okay,
bad.
so the
Notes.
Yeah, it says, the time has come. The diamond forged have removed the goblins from the knife. Oh, from knife tooth. We are in need of your healing and assistance as soon as you're able to make the journey to Renshaw.
Yeah, you're in Seoul,
where
the
that is?
dwarf cap.
Oh, that's the dwarf capital.
So is this a note by the dwarves, yeah?
Yes, signed by
And at this
that
point,
guy.
Guinean's kind of showing the note to
Arm?
everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, Ham, you know anything about any of the names mentioned here? Diamond Forged, for example, maybe?
Well, that's just like the military group of the dwarves and Bear. I mean, talking to the dwarves yesterday, that's the dwarf who just became the new king. So I guess they, they talked about how he kind of defended them against those goblins. So I guess it kind of all makes sense. The note corroborates what those dwarves told us yesterday. But it seems like she probably won't be back here for quite a while if she went to Renhall.
What a shame. Well, I guess we'll see her when we're back from Slain.
Yeah, we still got to go there to get our mounts.
Yeah, I
Well,
mean, they're
not
pretty.
ready to.
Slain is right in the shadow of the mountain, so you never know.
Maybe she's there. I mean, after all, Destiny, you know, and I smile again. Destiny does his thing. Okay, we should go back. Make sure the potions are ready.
Yeah.
All right. So you guys head back to the house then. Let's do Gust. You're in town.
Yeah. There's a couple of things I want to do. So while they're out doing this, first things first. Is there like anyone I know in town that'd be that's like mounts, animal handling, like anyone who's like specialized in it?
You remember from your trip to the tent merchants that they had various like mount feed. But other than that, from your time in Crossway, you know that most of the mounts and stuff come pretty well equipped from Slain, and the people that come here mainly will just stock up on feed. There's a stable to the north of town that people use for like more traditional mounts, horses.
I'll head up there.
You go into the
Yeah.
stable. Okay, you make your way to the far north side of town, and you see it's a long stretch, like a very long building with a lot of different like stalls, like open stalls. And you see a man outside. He's wearing like a flannel jacket, some overalls, and he's kind of like shoveling hay like through a little opening at the back of the stall, like at the back of where the stables are. He's kind of like shoveling some hay into one of the stalls.
Good day, my friend.
Good day to you.
I heard, and I kind of put Hope down on the ground. You're that guy to come to for animal food, and I point down to my pup.
Oh, I don't really have a lot of food here, just enough to get the mounts through the night, or just enough to give them food through the night. The tent merchants usually keep the adventurers in stock.
I'm looking to get at what you are willing to sell me for this guy here through the night. Can't have him eating all my rations on an adventure, if you know what I mean.
Does it eat hay?
No, they're mainly carnivores. You got anything meat, chickens, anything like that you'd be willing?
I have my egg-laying chickens. I can't sell you those.
No, that's understandable. I guess butcher's really my only option, and that's expensive. Unfortunate. And I start to think and look around. I'm like, do you have anything for small animals in terms of like equipwear? Maybe like a little satchel I could put on this guy?
I'm used to equipping fully grown horses. Let me look around.
And
Actually, my son, I don't know
Yeah.
if I can get you any saddlebags or that sort of thing, but my son, he's very young. He's only, well, he's 5 now, but I have an old belt. Maybe you could use it as a collar.
that'd actually be great. How much for the belt?
Mark Magic, if you're eating, mute yourself.
Sorry.
No worries.
How about a gold?
Fine by me. I give the dude a gold.
All right, happy to give this belt a home. I'd hate to throw it out.
Yeah, no, it's a nice. Is it like a leather belt with a good buckle on it?
Yeah, well, thank you for taking it off my hands. Your business is appreciated. I wish I could help you. I wish I could help you out a bit more, but maybe you would check if you're looking for food. I would check with the merchants from Ordburn down to the. They're in the tents south of town, or in the southern section of the bridge. I'm sure you've seen them.
Oh, really? Thank you for the tidbit. I appreciate it, my good friend. And I start heading that way, and I give a courteous bow and say, "Stay safe."
Stay safe.
So I definitely head down to the Orburn tents after I put the collar on Hope, or the
All
belt, I
right,
should
you
say.
get down there and you see the same old man and old woman sitting at these tents. The old man is leaning back in this old makeshift chair that he's crafted out of some random planks of wood, and you see him taking some bites out of a tomato.
It's fucking old man.
Tomato Man is back, huh? I love this NPC. I don't know why.
He's the best. I don't know why either.
I can picture him eating. I don't know why.
I'm like, all right, my man, you got meat.
You know, he kind of like looks around his tent. They call tomatoes the meat of the vegetable world.
I show Hope. I'm like, this one can't eat vegetables.
Don't hurt his feelings.
Have you tried?
I look around for a butcher or something in the tents.
Whoa,
I
whoa, whoa,
just
whoa.
can't. I'm like,
Whoa, 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 whoa. He sees you turning away and start leaving. My wife, and he points to the woman beside him. We bring some cuts of cattle with us. You looking for feed?
I'm like, yes, I'm looking feed for my pet warg that can't eat vegetables, and it needs to be meat.
All right, and so the old woman, she speaks up and kind of she reaches down and pulls up this really thin strip of it looks like a very thin, not a good cut, but definitely edible for a carnivorous animal, like a cut of like it's like a steak.
Right.
She
How
says,
many? One strip would be 1 day worth of food for it, correct? Just so I know ratio to buy.
"Yeah, I would assume that one of these strips last you 1 day. I can give it to you for 5 copper."
I'm like, if I recall, the trip to Slain is like what, 16 days?
12.
12? I'll buy 15.
15, that's a lot to carry.
I'm like, I know, but
You know there's another town,
I listen in.
Wayfeld. It's only a couple days' walk. It's in that direction.
Okay, you know what? Give me.
A lot of trappers live there.
Can you give me 4 days just in case my party sidetracks me?
Yeah, that's fine. 4 days of feed? As much as I want your money, I don't want a little one to be carrying around. You don't want to put too much strain on your back.
I look, I say, I appreciate it. I really do. I was gonna make some of my party members carry some for all the stuff they put me through.
And as you've been making your rounds through town, the clouds have sort of like covered the sky, and it's gotten a bit darker. The sun's pretty well hidden out, and there's a moment within your conversation where like a thunder crack disrupts it, and a light rain starts to come down. So 4 days.
Yeah. Forgot about that.
4 days indeed. Oh, now I gotta do the math. Okay, 100 coppers, 1 silver. 100 silvers, 1 gold.
No, we can probably do this after.
Yeah.
It's 20 copper.
Yeah, I give a gold because I only have gold on me.
Okay, and then she hands you back 80 copper. Oh wait, 99 silver, 80 copper.
Thank you. And I say, have a great day. And I look to the tomato man and I say, remember, not everything can only eat tomatoes.
But you haven't tried.
I'm like, give me 3 tomatoes.
All right.
For the sake of immersion, guys, you can look at the general chat screenshot.
Yeah, that's how I picture him.
That's him.
How much is it per tomato again? All right.
15 copper is fine. I just like to see people eating my tomatoes, really. The price is negotiable. 15 copper is
I
pretty
look
cheap.
at it, I give him 15 copper. I'm like, then you must be ecstatic with my party. And I'm like, I bow courteously with my hand on my head a bit and say, stay safe as I walk.
Oh, two things before you
What?
leave. Make sure your elf friend, the one that buys lots of tomatoes, stops by, and if the puppy doesn't eat it, just force it down its throat. It'll like it, I'm sure.
I'm like, you can just see it on my face. Like, Gus is just like so over it, but he's kind of chuckling at this dude, and he's like, "Thank you for the advice. Stay safe." And I just fucking
just
book
stick it in its
I'm
mouth
gone.
and close it shut.
No, I'm gone. I don't even
And
hear
you
this.
can
I'm
hear him.
gone.
As you're leaving, you can definitely hear, though, like every other word you hear tomato behind you, and it slowly fades off into the distance as you make your way back to your house.
I run all the way to my house. I'm busting through that door. I'm like, Liz, go visit the tomato man, and that's all I say.
All right, you guys all kind of like converge at the same time now at Gus and Autumn's house. The rain pouring.
I definitely say, Liz, you need to visit Tomato Dude. He wants to see you.
Okay.
Or we could start our actual quests that we're already 2 days behind.
Yeah,
on.
I have enough rations. I'm sure we can
3
visit.
days behind on.
I look at the party and say, well, is our druid potions ready? I'm sure it hasn't been that long.
Are they ready, Gideon?
Is it, can't I tell what time it is?
You can carry them with you, though.
Wait, what?
What?
They have about 5 hours before they're fully brewed, but you do have the mixture. It's just still settling.
Can he carry?
You can take your... Yeah, you can take the potions with you. It's in vials. They're just not fully potions yet.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So yeah, no. Oh, okay. I'll go run back and grab those.
I'm sure Tomato Man will be waiting for us, and I'll pay him a visit when we're back. I'm probably gonna need more tomatoes when we're back. So,
Yeah, I let the party know on our way to Slain there's a town 2 days out that I could stop by to get real food for the work. It's along the way. It's not going to slow us down.
Well, as long as it doesn't slow us down, it's okay.
And I'm like, by the way, like his new collar?
It's okay.
Looks better than your clothes. I start walking.
I turn around like with a what face, like this motherfucker.
Let's start our march. By the road, I assume we're gonna go by the road, yeah?
I mean, the road is the safest route, and we have never been in that direction. Well, I haven't. So it makes sense.
When have we encountered danger in a road, right? In Vision's world, when?
I mean, the last time we went by the quick way, and it fucked us with disease rats.
True. True. Okay.
All right, let me show you where this town is.
Okay.
The road leads straight east. The town, from what you were told, Gust, you know it's a couple days out, and you remember talks of a town being out here a little bit closer to Ordburn, not quite along with the road. You know, you're not sure how to get there, but you get the sense that it's a couple days out.
Okay, I relay this to the party.
So it's out from our trajectory,
It's about a 2-day walk from where you guys are.
but it's in the direction of Slane on like a straight line, pretty much. Yeah.
It's in that direction, yeah. The road,
Alright.
it's not along the road, but it's in that direction.
All right. I guess we should follow that direction first, then. So
Yeah, so like if I had to ping it, right, it'd be like right around here.
I marked it with a yellow dot.
I don't see it.
in the E of Crossway. Colorblind.
Oh,
I gotta zoom right the fuck in.
Colorblind monkas.
I still can't see it. I'll
It's-
take your word for it.
It's on the E, the last E of Crossway.
The Y.
Yeah, the Y, E, wow. Alphabet, Monka.
Now, I figured he meant why.
Wait, should I
but
not have made it?
I just
okay.
don't see it, but I see
I
the
shouldn't have
ping.
made it red.
Let's
Yeah.
Alright,
Well,
let's go.
does this town have a name? Or no? Just
Yeah, he told me a name. I forgot to write it
The
down.
in chat.
Thank you. Wayfield.
Wayfield.
on our way to Wayfield then. Let's go.
All right. So, is this your marching order? You guys will be heading east.
Nah, I want to be.
Let's
I'll swap to the
assemble
back.
on me.
I'm always behind my ham.
Okay, that's our marching order.
That's our marching order. I'm okay with that.
I want
All right.
to
So
be on
there's
guard.
no road.
I want to be on guard.
Okay. There's no road, so one of you will have to attempt to navigate in that direction.
What
Right.
skill is used in order to navigate in terms of check?
It'll be survival.
Survival. I'm zero
Not me.
survival, so
I got a 1.
I will navigate.
okay.
Ham, the ultimate navigator.
There it is. Or
I
guide.
trust the dwarf. We're heading towards the mountains, and the dwarf seems like the best bet. So yeah, let's go.
Sounds good to me.
Alright, so you said survival.
Yep.
So wait,
Oh.
What the?
I'm nice.
Wow.
I'm on guard. We have Ham navigating. Are you scouting, Lizard? And what are you doing? We should
Yeah,
all like.
I'm definitely
take up-
scouting, like looking for.
Okay.
That's gonna be my default stance. I'm always gonna be looking. I'm gonna be alert.
Okay. And
Yeah.
what are you
The only
covering?
variations would be like if somebody wanted to, like, make a map. If you have cartographer's tools, you can make a map to make it easier to get like to and from this area in the future.
Okay.
Or you can track things if you're traveling, or somebody can also forage along the way.
I'm not really. We're not really looking for anything, right? So I think I'm just like focused on getting there fast. I think on the kind of like focusing on the day at this point. I'm not tracking
Yeah.
anything or anything. I'm just like making sure that the path is safe.
Yeah. So we got a scout. We got a guard. We got a navigator. So unless you have
I-
something.
I really need any herbalism supplies right now since I have the 4 potions and I have some sour grass. So let me go back to that list.
It's just navigate, scout, draw a map, track something, or find food for the day for the party.
I can help with scouting.
Okay. And then, like, obviously, if you guys think of anything else you'd want to do that fits
Sure.
the situation. But, all right, so you guys start making your way east. It's really dark. It's dark. Just the clouds completely are covering the sun here, so it's real gray, and it almost seems like nighttime.
Mm-hmm.
You start making your way east. This time, not following the road. The terrain very similar to how it is out west, just long stretches of plains, scattered trees, brush, and Liz, Ginian, Gust. You're kind of following behind Ham. and Ham, you're like trying to find the sun, trying to orient yourself. You're pretty sure you're going. You're actually very sure you're going in the right direction, at least from the description you got of from Gust and what was relayed to Gust from the merchant. You are very confident you're on the right track, but you're still like trying to follow. Like you're still trying to orient yourself, and so the rest of the group they're focused on watching for danger. And as another crackle of thunder hits, lightning streaks across the sky, and in the distance, you guys see two sets of red eyes, like staring at you. There seems to be no bodies at all, just disembodied red eyes.
Are these? Would we notice these maybe being the hound, or well, same the creature, the mastiff, who's attacking that guy?
Do I get any like weird sensations?
You feel a sense of dread, Gust, a familiar sense of dread. And Arxie, you would recognize these as pretty similar. Actually, all of you would probably recognize these as pretty similar to the eyes of the hounds you fought the day before.
How far away is it?
They're quickly approaching. They're probably... It's hard to gauge because you can only see eyes in the darkness, but maybe they're about a mile out.
Can we try? Does he see us? Can we try to hide?
They see you.
So
Or the eyes at least seem fixated on you.
are they like moving towards us, or are they just staying at a distance?
You see no body, but the eyes blink out of existence and open again, and they're a little bit closer this time, and it keeps happening.
Do we have a map for this one? Or not yet?
Is there, Vision? Is there any place where I could get like an altitude position, like a tree, a rock, or anything where I could? I'm getting ready for combat here, just in case.
Yeah, like what's the terrain look like around us?
I was actually going to end it here tonight
Oh, okay.
Oh,
and then
okay.
start this tomorrow.
All right,
Or
keep going.
next
keep-
week.
Okay, so the eyes are going to.
Yeah.
You can finish it then, Vision, with a paragraph if you want.
Yeah, so you guys are you're looking out. It's across the dark plains, and these red glowing eyes, similar to the hound you fought the day before, seem to have no form, like moving in and out of the shadows freely, like no visible body. You'll see him like blink in front of a tree, and shut and be gone, and open again a little bit closer, and they're kind of. It looks like they're kind of surrounding the group, and the group stands back to back here. The rain pouring down on them. You guys watch from all sides as these eyes start blinking and just keep getting closer to the group.
Oh, there's multiple?
You see at least two sets.
Oh, shit.
Okay.
Until next time.